What's up, everyone? It's Q from Retro Q Gaming, and just as a little pre-E3 announcement, as seems to be the rage these days, Nintendo held a Super Smash Bros. Nintendo Direct just within the last hour or so. And they went over a few new things, some of the stuff they had announced, some of the stuff they hadn't, some that had basically been leaked, and they just went over it in detail anyway. But I've got everything listed here, all the important stuff anyway, and I'm just going to recap on them and, what I think is pretty cool about it. So, now, I don't like to do this about every video, but the fact that I like Smash Brothers and I play Smash Brothers, yeah, that's why. So, okay, fair enough. They also released that they're going to have... We already knew Lucas was coming, but they've also announced Roy as a new character, Roy from Fire Emblem. Now, it was leaked over the last few days, hidden in the files or whatever it was, that Roy was supposed to be either in the game or be added soon. And it turns out that was accurate. Now, they've went over the pricing system on them, and they're going to be... Now, these prices are all in dollars. So, it's $3.99, $4 basically, for one character on either the Wii U or the 3DS. Or you can buy a bundle of one character on both platforms for $4.99. So you basically pay $1 more and you get it. So if you're going to buy it on both, get the bundle, it's cheaper. Next up, they showed off a bunch of Mii costumes, and the Mii costumes are mostly from non-Nintendo franchises. There are some from Nintendo franchises, but they slightly outdo it on the other. So first up, they've got Mega Man Battle Network series, and in that they come with Mega Man.exe, who is a gunner type for it's a Mii costume for your Mii. They have someone from Mega Man X, which is a sword fighter type in the form of Zero, and Zero is a beast. I love Mega Man X. I love Battle Network for that matter as well, but I prefer Mega Man X, and Zero is easily my favorite character, so I might buy that one. We'll see. Next up after that is Animal Crossing. We have Isabelle, who is a gunner type. I saw a pretty fucked up picture the other day. It was basically her costume and the skin just lifted from the game files, and it looked like someone had skinned her alive. It was pretty disturbing, but let's not talk about that. Next up, we've got some Splatoon characters. You have the Inkling Boy and Inkling Girl, which are obviously gunner types because, well, if you know anything about Splatoon, they use guns. And you can also get a Squid Hat for your amiibo character, or not your amiibo characters, your Mii characters as well. After that, we have Virtua Fighter. There's two characters from Virtua Fighter here. We have Jackie, who is a brawler type, and we also have Akira, who is a brawler type at the same time as well. And each of those characters is going to be, or each of those Mii outfits, if you will, is going to be 75 cents each, or 75 cents each for one character for one platform, or you can buy a bundle for $1.15 for one character for both platforms. So, if you want, let's say, Jackie on both platforms, it's going to cost you $1.15. If you want Zero on just one platform, I don't know why anyone would ever want that, because Zero's a boss, but it would cost you 75 cents for just that one. They've also announced, to go with everything that we talked about so far, that there's going to be Roy, Lucas, and Splatoon-based trophies in-game. So you learn them just as you would any other Smash Bros. Trophy. So, other than that, they've finally shown off some of what will be added to the Amiibo series. They're going to have the Mii Brawler, the Mii Sword Fighter, and the Mii Gunner Amiibos. When you scan in each of these Amiibos, they'll be fully customizable in the sense of you can mix and match costumes as well as, say, movesets and all that, since they're based on your Mii rather than a specific set character. So you can always, mix and match with that. Next up is it's 4 more Amiibos on top of the 3 we just covered. These ones are Rob, the robot. So you've got Duck Hunt as well, which it's the duck and the it's called the dog. You've Mr. Game & Watch and Falco. Falco from Star Fox series. Now, one thing about Mr. Game & Watch is he's basically, of it, when you have all the others, they're all 3D, and like I have my Yoshi amiibo, I just picked it up right there, and it's basically a fully 3D character. Mr. Game & Watch is essentially flat. It still has a little bit of thickness to it, but very, very minor, and you can actually take it out of the base and put in several different styles of Mr. Game & Watch, or different poses of Mr. Game & Watch, if you will. So it didn't say how many there's going to be, but they showed off, I think it was 3 or 4 during the actual video. And all the 7 amiibos we just covered, which are the Mii Brawler, the Mii Sword Fighter, the Mii Gunner, Rob, Duck Hunt, Mr. Game & Watch, and Falco, are all coming in September. They're going to join in the wave that's coming out in September at the moment, with Zero Suit Samus, Baby Bowser, Captain Olimar, Dr. Mario, and Ganon. So that's a pretty extensive line for that one. I know my friend who basically collects amiibos. He's got like 30 or so of them at the moment. He's going to be fairly pissed off. And they've also commented that all 51 fighters in Smash Brothers, or in the latest Smash games, will eventually be on amiibo, be released in amiibo form. And I worked it out. If you go by the actual recommended retail price here in Europe, which is €17 for one amiibo, and you were to buy all 51 of those, that would cost a whopping €867 on amiibo. That's fucking nuts. I have 2 amiibo. Like, I'm looking at them right now. I have Yoshi and Link, and Link is only an impulse buy. I went to buy Yoshi and Link was there, so I was like, fuck it, I'll buy that as well. But €867, that's crazy. All you collectors out there must be hurting. Okay, enough of that. We'll move on. Next up, they talked about some of the new stages, and they're bringing in Kirby's Dream Land from Smash Bros. On the very first Smash Bros. On the N64. It's basically the same stage. It also has an Omega form, and like all the Omega forms, it's basically just at the flat level. It's going to be $199 if you buy it, $199 for whatever platform, or you can buy it on both platforms as a bundle for $299. There's also 2 more stages in development. They quickly showed off, 2 or 3 second clip of each. They haven't said when they're going to be available or how much they're going to be, but what they did show off, those 2 new stages, well, I say new, but the 2 stages that they're going to add are Hyrule Castle from, well, they're both from the original Smash Brothers. So it's Hyrule Castle, which is obviously from Legend of Zelda, and you have there's a Mario 64 stage as well. So obviously that's Mario 64. We'll find out more about them at a later point anyway, possibly in a few days when Nintendo have their digital event. So they moved on to another stage after that, and this one is the Wii U Miiverse stage. Now this one is only available on the Wii U, so it's not available for 3DS owners. But when you're connected to the internet, there's going to be a Miiverse community released for each individual character, and you can, like all the other Miiverses, you can put in draw your pictures and all this, and they actually show up in the background of the Miiverse stage when you're playing as those characters and connected to the internet. So let's say let's say I go in as Mario and I'm connected to the internet playing on the Miiverse stage, and since I'm Mario, all the a bunch of pictures and stuff that people have drawn on the Smash Brothers Mario Miiverse will start showing up in the background, which is pretty cool to an extent. Anyway, the level itself looks kind of bland, but that's the part that makes it. And the one thing that's different about the Miiverse stage is it's free as well, unlike the previous ones. So they've also went on to talk about their tournament modes. Now there's going to be 2 tournament modes as it is. There's the community tournaments where people fight for the highest amount of points, and there's the standard elimination style tournaments that we all know and love. So there's just the 2 of them. They're both apparently fully developed, but they're just continuing with online testing. So they're coming soon. They're hoping to support both of them by August. So it looks like, hopefully, we'll have August anyway. Next up, after they talked about that, was YouTube support in the Wii U version, which just kind of came out of nowhere. So what they're going to do is they're going to add in a new replay recording feature. And when the replay that is actually recorded, it can be uploaded directly to YouTube from your Wii U. And because it's going to be a standard file format, chances are it'll probably just be an MP4. You can also easily view it on, say, your PC or a smartphone or a tablet, or put it through some editing software, since it's just going to be they said it'll be a normal video file type. So it'll probably be done through there. And because it's all done through YouTube, it's pretty self-explanatory that it requires a Google account, obviously. But it's 2015. Who doesn't have a Google account at this point? And if you don't, why don't you have one? That's all I can say. So that's the end of the Wii U. Well, the Wii U YouTube support part of it. Now, next up, this one was also leaked a few days ago, and people had been showing it off in the data files. It's Ryu from Street Fighter 2. So he's been designed and created completely to resemble Ryu in all shapes, sizes, and forms from Street Fighter 2. So that's pretty cool, because I know I'm a big Street Fighter 2 fan. Well, yeah, Street Fighter 2 fan at least, anyway. I kind of fizzled out after that. But one of the key things that Nintendo noted during this presentation was that the original game had a 6-button command focus. You know, you had light punch, medium punch, heavy punch, light kick, medium kick, heavy kick. But Smash Bros. Really only works on 2 buttons. So what they do is Ryu still has light, medium, and heavy attacks, and it's based on if you either just tap the button, or if you press and hold it for longer durations, you get a light, medium, or heavy attack that way. It can also do stuff like it takes effect in some of his moves. Like when you look at he's got a Hadouken, and you can either you can trigger it with a button tap, which does a short, slow one, or if you hold it for longer, it goes further and faster. And what I thought was really cool is if you put in the original command for a Hadouken, which is down, forward. It's basically a quarter circle towards, starting from the bottom, and the button you want to press. It's an even stronger version of the Hadouken. He also has a bunch of other moves as well, like say he's got the Hurricane Kick and the Shoryuken. And if you do the original Shoryuken command, there's a chance of a possible instant KO if you hit the character with the exact frame of animation at the perfect time. So that's pretty cool, the fact that they're putting in all the old stuff on there. They also have, with another thing with Ryu is the very first character in Smash Bros. History to have 2 final smashes. So he's the first ever to have that. And one of them is basically an amped up Hadouken. So if you do it from range, it's a big Hadouken. It hits people. It can hit multiple people and people in the vicinity of it. It doesn't have to directly contact them. And if you launch the final smash at personal, up close and personal, point blank range, it becomes a super Shoryuken, and that's it, KO. Because to go with Ryu, they're also going to add up Suzaku Castle. So, as everyone should know, that is Ryu's stage from Street Fighter. So it's going to look very similar. Obviously, it has to be changed a little bit, otherwise it'd be too boring. And because of that, it's kind of split into 2 halves. On the right side, you've got one big long platform with a smaller, medium-sized platform just above it. There's nothing special about those. But on the left side of the stage, you've got 2 or 3 small platforms, which are all at different levels, and they're not just one above the other. They're kind of staggered out. So you have to change your fighting style, and different characters are going to have different troubles and different times when they're, depending on what side they're on. And as kind of a throwback to, if you'll excuse the pun, to the older Street Fighters, is if you send someone flying or you do throws on other characters while you're right up beside the signs, the signs will break in half like they did in the original Street Fighter games. There's also, like all the rest of them, they're going to have an Omega form of the level, and it will basically just be the original level. It's just one big long platform. You can fall off the sides, but there's nothing special about it other than that. It's just a usual Omega platform deal. It also has Ryu's original music in Suzaku Castle, so it's going to have the original Street Fighter 2 music, And again, a new one for the first time in Smash Brothers. When the time remaining on the stage gets low, the music will change like it used to do back in the day in Street Fighter 2. So the Wii U version of Ryu's stage will also have Ken's stage theme and Ken's theme remix. So I always preferred Ken's theme to Ryu's theme. So if I do buy that, I'll most likely be listening to Ken's theme on it the whole time. And there was one other thing that they noticed, or that I noticed, if you will, that, well, when they noted that there was going to be a Ryu remix theme as well, that was created by, it was arranged and created by the original Street Fighter 2 composer, Yoko Shimomura. Now, I probably butchered her name, which I apologize for. There's one thing about that last one with the remix of Ryu's music. It's unclear if that is on both platforms, but in the video stream that they showed off, it did accompany some of the Wii U exclusive stuff, because it was shown on screen at the time with the Ken stage and the Ken remix. So take that for what it is. They also got in, because of all promotional artwork and illustrations, they got the original character illustrator from Street Fighter 2 who did the original Ryu artwork, Akiman, and he did the new one of this new artwork for Ryu. And because of all the Ryu and Ken stuff, it makes perfect sense to say they do have Ryu and Ken trophies. So you'll earn those in game just as usual, because it makes perfect sense. So Ryu and Suzuka Castle, they come as a bundle. You don't really buy them separately. You don't just buy one. You don't buy the character, or you don't buy the level. You buy it as a bundle, character plus level, on one platform. So if you want to buy it on Wii U, it's $5.99. If you want to buy it on the 3DS, it's $5.99. If you want to buy a bundle to get the character and the level on both platforms, it's $6.99. So that's not much of a difference. They've also added that to go with all the Mii costumes we covered earlier, they're also going to have a Tekken Heihachi costume as well for your Mii. And obviously, of course, because they're all adding them in, there will be a Ryu and a Roy amiibo eventually. They haven't finalized when all that would be. They just said they would be produced eventually. There'll also be special in-game trophies that they covered, and they're kind of special in-game character trophies. Say you've got like Ryu doing a Shoryuken, or there was just Roy kicking ass, and they look really funky and really fancy, and you can earn them all from beating it in All-Star mode, presumably, with those characters, which makes perfect sense. And the thing that everyone that took even me and probably everyone else by surprise, is that at the very end of the stream, they actually announced all of this is available right now. So I was expecting, it'll be available at E3, and then they just said, boom, it's available right now. So everyone turn on your Wii U's or your 3DS's and go download all that content. And I just banged my desk because I'm talking with my hands. So go turn on your Wii U, go turn on your 3DS, download whatever content you are interested in this, and play it to your heart's content. So that's basically the end of the announcement anyway, and this video went on way longer than I expected. Pretty much as long as the actual presentation, but Nintendo did it much better than I did. That's all I can say. So I'm going to leave it here anyway. We'll hit the comment part of it. So let me know what your thoughts and opinions are, and what you're interested in from anything in this video in the comment section below. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. You can follow me on Twitter, details in the description below. Thank you for watching, and I will see you on the rest of the videos in my channel.